Okay, so I might have gotten a bit carried away here, since as you can see, I'm already at 9.5k medals, and the event literally just opened up last night, and we don't even have the additional missions yet. So I'm gonna have to come back here and probably grind way past the 11k medals for the title just to finish all the missions afterwards. But you know what? I'm fine with that because I've just been having way too much fun playing this deck. Yep, cards. If there's one way to describe this deck, it's literally just cards. It's 60 Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You can say that. We have Naturia, Azamina, Snake Eye. Yes, we're playing Snake Eyes in the format without Link monsters, and a bit of a White Forest splash too. So we got like 3.5, 4 different archetypes in here, and we'll get this out of the way right now. Is this the best way to play Azamina? No, it's probably better to just play it with White Forest than the Naturia stuff. Is this the best way to play Naturia? No, probably the Runic stuff is the best way to play. Is the best engine to pair with Naturia. Is this the best way to play Snake Eyes? No, there probably is no best way to play Snake Eyes. In fact, you're probably better off not. If you're trying to be optimal here, probably don't play the Snake Eyes because you know there's these things called Link monsters and these things like IP Masquerade and Peruvian Princess that don't exist in this format, so you might be wondering what the hell we're doing with Snake Eye monsters. Well, don't worry, I'll get to that, but the idea is that, okay, you know what, I didn't really have much of an idea to begin with. I just wanted to play Naturia cards, and I wanted to play Azamina cards, and I wanted to try Snake Eyes cards to see if Snake Eyes were really that broken, even without Link monsters. And the conclusion I came to is yes, Snake Eyes are a complete design mistake. Even when you don't have Link monsters to link off your Snake monster into, somehow they still end up being absolutely carrying this entire deck. Don't know how that works, but I guess you'll see later in the replays. But yeah, you know what the Naturia stuff does by now, right? Like the Naturia stuff, it's simple. You know, you make Nat Beast, you have this Camellia, you have this Sunflower, this damned Smile that if this ever gets on board, your opponent is gonna have a really rough time because they won't. You know, they activate a monster effect, negate, they activate a monster effect, negate, they activate a spell, negate, all that stuff. Also, we're taking advantage of the fact that Camellia is a level 4 tuner. So much like the White Forest cards, specifically Sylvie being a level 4 tuner, we can take advantage of Camellia being a level 4 tuner. They can bridge into the... You can bridge the Naturia cards into the White Forest engine, which, you know, is something that that's probably the first time that sentence has ever been said out loud. But yeah, Camellia plus a Sunflower can get you to Arcelia. I have no idea how to pronounce this. And then this will get you this will get you your LZ, and then your LZ can get to your Diabell, and your Diabell can then the LZ will search you your Deception, and the Diabell will get spell back, and then on your opponent's turn you can summon 3. Yes, I have 3 different targets for Diabell to summon on my opponent's turn, which is probably a bit too much, but Formula Synchron, you know, Formula Synchron can go into a Satellite Warrior. If you go on the Satellite Warrior literally pops your opponent's entire field. This is basically the Exodia trap card, Exod. It pops cards up to the number of Synchro monsters in your graveyard. If you get to a point where you're making Diabell, you probably have like what, 1, 2, 3, minimum 3 Synchro monsters, likely 4 Synchro monsters in your graveyard at that point. So, yeah, that's pretty fun. You also have you can also classically just go into Silvera, book your opponent's board, which is an option too. Although I never really went into that because that's not as fun. You know, that's standard White Forest stuff. You know, this is a pretty non-standard deck. Also, Naturia Camellia combines very well with the Deception engine, because like just think for a second. You go Camellia, you go Mo Cricket, and they imperm your Naturia monster because of course they would. Why would they suspect you're playing Naturia? Of course you should imperm the Camellia. Like that's the best thing to do. And then you activate Deception. Okay, and then you go Psych, and then you pop any monster in your hand, and then you go into this Murcielago, you search your Wanted, and then you synchro the Murcielago plus the level 4 tuner Naturia Camellia into a Baron, and then you return the Murcielago to add the Hallowed Azamina back, and the Hallowed Azamina you make the Ilya Silva negate, you get the Diabell, and then the Diabell you have 2 options. You can you can just go set simple spoils of the White Forest. You set up a Guardian Chimera on your opponent's turn. So yes, we're we're not only are we Nat Beasting our opponent, we're setting up Nat Beast plus Guardian Chimera on our opponent's turn plus 2 Omni Negates, or you could go into full Snake Eyes combo with the Die Bellstar after setting up the Ilya Silva. And you might be wondering, what the hell does that mean? What do you mean full Snake Eyes combo? What is a Snake Eyes combo in a format without Link monsters? Okay, so surprisingly, it still works. Mostly you're using the Snake Eyes cards as sort of a advantage engine, as sort of like a grindy engine, as opposed to the super combo wombo fiendsmith stuff you're used to currently. But yeah, this deck, the Snake Eyes engine has extremely good recursion. You know, you have the Poplar can put anything back, the Die Bellstar can put anything in the grave back into the spell and trap zone, such as the Poplar, and then, you know, you just cycle that back and forth, the Die Bellstar summons itself, and then so on and so forth. The Flambird, so here's a fun fact. Flambird doesn't just have to place IP in the spell and trap zone. There are other monsters, you can place other monsters besides Ice Peak Master Arena in your spell and trap zone. A couple of my personal favorites are Formula Synchron, because the Snake Eyes engine oftentimes goes through Jet Synchron, since you have access to it versus original Symbol Spoils if you start with Ash, but also you have access to the Jet Synchron with the going to Excel Synchron plus any level 1 tuner also works. So you can, you know, for example, have a Naturia Camellia plus the level 4 Naturia Camellia plus the level 1 Snake Eye Ash goes into the level 5 Excel Synchron. The Excel Synchron dumps the Jet Synchron. You can make a Formula Synchron with that, draw another card. The Excel Synchron plus the level 8 Snake Eye Die Bellstar then goes into Legacia to draw another card, and then Legacia protects all your small monsters from being destroyed by battle, so you'll never die, including that damn Smile. This card will not be able to be run over as long as you have like a Legacia, which you made with the Excel Synchron that you decrease the level by. So you don't have to go through the White Forest stuff either. And then, obviously, the Flambird being on the field can then replace this Formula Synchron. You summon the Formula Synchron on your opponent's turn, then Synchro with Formula Synchron into another level 10 Synchro. Or, my personal favorite to do with Flambird is, if I have access to the Naturia engine, is to use the Flambird to place the Naturia Camellia, summon the Camellia on my opponent's turn. Camellia will dump a Molcricket. When an opponent summons a monster, the Molcricket will special summon itself, and then, you know, instead of using Naturia Blessing to revive something, Naturia Blessing has the secondary effect that nobody uses because it's not efficient unless you're playing this specific deck. But immediately after this effect resolves, Synchro summon one Synchro monster using monsters you control, including Naturia monsters. So you search the Naturia Blessing, and you don't have, because you used Flambird to place the Camellia in the spell and trap zone, and then you summon the Camellia with the Flambird, you don't have to use the Naturia Blessing to revive the Camellia, which means that now you have a Camellia plus a level 1 Molcricket on the field, which means you can use the Naturia Blessing to quick Synchro into a Naturia Beast on your opponent's turn, which your opponent, nobody is going to see that coming. Honestly, I didn't even recognize that was a thing I could do until I really got into the weeds with this deck. And believe me, I did play a lot of games with this deck, as you saw. So yeah, there are often boards where you can get any combinations of Omni Negates, Chimera, Naturia Beast, and then your opponent's not gonna know what the fuck is going on. And honestly, half the time I don't even know what the hell I'm doing with this deck, and it just ends up getting there. And yeah, also you have all the Snake Eyes recursion too. So even if they wipe your board, I found my board wiped by Exodia, does not even matter because the follow-up with Snake Eyes is still insane. It's even better now because we have the Snake Eyes Doom Dragon, so you can place a Poplar place one, Die Bellstar place another one, go place the Flambirds back, then after it die, go link fuse out the Flambirds in the spell and trap zone into the Doom Dragon. The Flambirds will trigger summoning back your 2 Snake Eyes monsters, and then get your Jet Synchron, normal summon Jet Synchron, go into another level 10 or a Baron on the follow-up. It's crazy what this deck can. I'm shocked at how well this deck works. I made this deck as a joke just to see how good the Snake Eyes package is, and it turns out it's not very much at all. Also, you get to use the fun Snake Eyes cards. Again, we have the Snake Eyes Doom Dragon. We have the Snake Eyes Dramatic Chase, which this is also a very neat card because you can, at any time, you can just bridge your Snake Eyes cards into your Die Bellstar. So you can go Subspecial Poplar, add Dramatic Chase. Dramatic Chase, place the Diabellstar. End phase Diabellstar, summon itself. Set the Symbol Swells in the White Forest, or your opponent's turn, use the Symbol Swells of the White Forest to go into Guardian Chimera. Chainlink 1 Guardian Chimera, Chainlink 2 Diabellstar, summon itself back. Chain Block from Ash. Diabellstar sends the Guardian Chimera. The Diabellstar will then place Deception. You pop your opponent's cards and you draw, and then you have more guaranteed follow up that way. It's like very neat. And in this low power format, you're not at risk of dying, especially if you have all of these chump blockers, all of this recursion, all of these walls, and then you also, you know, have actual real disruption and a real end board. So yeah, that's really, maybe you'll just have to see some of the gameplay to understand how this works. Even then, you know, I don't fully understand how this deck works yet. I just know that somehow it works. So yeah, also each of these engines are individually sufficient. Like that, they're self-sufficient in a way. You can do stuff if you just open one of these engines by themselves without the other engine. That's why we can fit in, even though it's a 60 card deck, we can still fit in 18 hand traps, so it's like a 12 out of in the 40 ratio, which is not bad considering how engine heavy this deck is. Like you're playing 3 different engines and you still have those, you're essentially running the same ratio as 12 hand trap and 40, which is not terrible. Especially when you have Valor, Droll, Imperm, Ash, and the Bishios, so these are like all the good ones. Bishios also are level 6 bodies, so they pair very well with the level 4 tuner Camellia. And there are times where you will Magnamut search Flamberge so that you can pop the Flamberge with Deception and then get the Flamberge effect that way. And then you get to place the Flamberge back to the Diabellstar, and then you have the Temple to summon the Flamberge on your opponent's turn, and the Flamberge will summon back whatever you place on. Like it keeps on, it just keeps going. So yeah, the Naturia engine by itself, if you just own the Naturia engine, of course you can just go Nat Beast, and Nat Beast solos. It's a fusion festival, and it's an Azamina festival. Guess what Azamina and fusion decks can't beat? That's right, Nat Beast. So there you go. You open the Deception engine. If you open the Deception engine and literally nothing else, at minimum, you will get a Omni-Negate with the Ilia Sylvia plus a Guardian Chimera setup on your opponent's turn, plus a draw 1, and then of course all of the follow-up associated with Guardian Chimera and summoning Diabellstar on your opponent's turn. And again, that's without a normal summon. You could draw in that one draw off the Wanda, you could draw into anything. You draw into any other engine, you can draw into any normal summon. You're off to the races there. You can use Bonfire as an extender, like normal summon your Camellia, go Bonfire into Poplar, special Poplar, you know, add your original Symbol Swells, get the Jet from Synchro from the deck, and then you suddenly can go into your White Force engine, and then your White Force engine bridges into the Deception engine. So I can't believe these decks link together, but it works. And then of course the Snake Eyes engine. I'll show you what you do if you just open just Snake Eyes Ash and literally nothing else. You have like actually a couple options, but I can show you one that I think is pretty decent, and it gets you a draw, so that if you can draw into any extender, if you can draw, again, you do get draws during your combos too. We have Formula Synchron or like Legasha or like Wanda, so if you draw into another engine piece during the middle of your combo, you can then bridge into the other combo that way. So yeah, you have the one Poplar, one Sunflower, one LZ to search off the Arcia, the 2 Lone Fires because I couldn't fit a third one because I'm playing Stinkbug, because I think this card sucks ass. This never came up. There should probably just be a 3rd Lone Fire for more starters. You have the 3 Diabellstar, the Flamberge and Diabellstar, the Snake Eye Diabellstar. 1-for-1 can get you Mole Cricket or Snake Eye Ash, so you have options there. You have Foolish Burial Goods, which can dump Sacred Tree, or it can dump something like a Snake Eye Dramatic Chase, which, funnily enough, this has an effect where during the end phase, you banish this to special summon a monster as a continuous spell. So, yeah, you can Flamberge place whatever the hell you want, and then Dramatic, you know, Foolish Burial Goods, Dramatic Chase, special summon it during your end phase. And also about Flamberge is, you can also take your opponent's monster. If somehow you don't kill your opponent on the follow-up, and they have something nice, like a Draco Berserker or like a Baron that's already used the effect, well, okay, you Flamberge their Baron, then on their draw phase, you Flamberge summon back the Baron that you just put in their spell trap zone to your side of the field. Easy, right? And yeah, 2 Bonfire, the OSS, Hallowed, Temple, 3 Deception, called by Crossout, 3 Naturia Blessing, Wanted, we went over the Snake Eye Chase in the White Sinful Spoils of the White Forest, the Imprint and the Sacred Tree, which is the best discard off Diabellstar. Diabellstar, pitch Sacred Tree, you haven't lived until you've done that. Then the extra deck is like all sorts of wonky. You have the 2 Azaminas, of course. Then you have Doom Dragon, which is extremely important because you're playing the grind game, so you're gonna have lots of stuff in your spell and trap zone. So this can just 3k body outs any monster you want, like easy. You can like push 3 monsters of your opponent's back you can push 3 of your opponent's monsters back during the follow up, then clear their board for OTK. You have Flamberge put their shit back in the back row. You have Diabellstar put their shit in the back row, and then Doom Dragon put their shit in the back row. Like no matter what board they put up on the follow up, you can just always out deal with it. Guardian Chimera for this. You have Formless Synchron, Nat Beast, Excel Synchron to dump the Jet Synchron, and then a double modulate to help make Legacia or help make your Arcilla. How the fuck do you pronounce this? Okay, and then 1 Diabell, Satellite Warrior because it's funny, Baron Defleur, Bestial Dissipator. You also have not lived until you end phase Bestial your opponent's Diabellstar, normal summon Camellia, get Imperm, and then go into Dissipator, and then summon out their Diabellstar that you banished with your own Bestial, and then go full combo that way. And Psychic and Punisher because you have a easily accessible level 8s, and then you have a bunch of level 3 tuners, and you have a bunch of low level tuners, so you can easily make this. And then Legacia, very nice protection effect to protect all your weenie bodies so that you'll never die, and drawing is good. So yeah. Anyway, it's like enough describing what this deck does. Let me show you what this deck does. Okay, so this is a replay where my opponent was probably wondering what kind of drugs did he take before queuing into this game, because we start with normal summon Moonfire Blossom, and my opponent Ash Blossoms it. So they're probably like, okay, so they're playing Moonfire Blossom. Okay, so moving on. Right after that, we activate Deception of the Sinful Spoils and pop Bestial Baldrake. It's at Hallowed Azamina. The classic Lone Fighter into Deception combo. That's very, very, very common. I'm sure you've seen it before. And you go Azamina, Murcielago at Wanted, bounce back the Murcielago for the Hallowed Azamina, Chain Wanted, the classic, add the Diabellstar, and then Hallowed Azamina, reveal Iliosylvia to summon the Iliosylvia, and now I go Wanted to draw a card to see if I want. Basically, I want to see what I want to add up the Naturia Sacred Tree. Because if I drew like a Blessing, then I would want to add a Naturia name. But if I drew a Naturia name, I would want to add a Blessing of the Sacred Tree. So we'll see. And we drew a Naturia Camellia. Perfect. Okay, so Diabellstar pitch Sacred Tree, the combo. So Sacred Tree 1, Diabellstar 2. My opponent, they're probably like, what? Who the fuck plays Diabellstar Azamina with Naturia? Okay, well I do, buddy. I do. Okay, so we have the Naturia Blessing. We set the original symbol spoils. Send the Diabellstar to summon Snake Eye Ash. And then they're probably going to check right now to see if they're in the right. They queued into the right queue thing, and if they didn't just accidentally queue into ranked or something. But I promise you, there's no link monsters here. I'm just running the Snake Eyes, and then Snake Eye Ash at the Divine Temple. Divine Temple is going to place the Snake Eye Diabellstar, and then we're going to use the Naturia Blessing to summon the Camellia. Camellia will send the Naturia Sacred Tree to add a second Blessing that I'm going to use on my opponent's turn. And then we go Ash, send the Diabellstar to summon the Flamberge. And here we go Camellia plus Poplar into Excel Synchron, and then Poplar replaces the Snake Eye Diabellstar. The Flamberge places the Camellia, and then the Excel Synchron sends the Jet Synchron to lower its level by 1. And I'm going to summon the Diabellstar by putting the Poplar back in the spell and trap zone, and then I'm going to synchro these two into Legacia. Legacia, draw a card, and we drew out a monster, so that's very nice. Now I set to. So this is the setup we got through Ash, which I know this looks kind of scuffed. Trust me, like, no deck this event is gonna beat this. So like the idea is we have an illusion on the field, so we can use Sinful Spoils of the White Forest to go into a Guardian Chimera. We have on our opponent's turn, Flamberge is gonna summon Camellia. Camellia is gonna dump Mole Cricket, and then when my opponent summons a monster, Mole Cricket is going to summon itself, or Camellia is going to summon Mole Cricket. We have Camellia plus Mole Cricket. You're going to quick synchro Naturia Blessing into Naturia Beast, and then the Mole Cricket is going to special summon itself out because we summon Naturia Beast, and then we get another Camellia. We can summon another Camellia, and then Camellia can dump another Sacred Tree for more follow up, or we can get a Sunflower for its monster negate. So you can get a Nat Beast plus a Guardian Chimera plus a monster negate plus this Omni negate off the Ilya Sylvia. So we're gonna draw one, or you can draw a couple cards. I can set up a Guardian Chimera to either draw one or draw two as well. So that was the plan, okay? And honestly, like I was still getting used to this deck, so I didn't play this out perfectly. But yeah, Flambird summon out Camellia dump Mole Cricket, and my opponent activates P.U.N.K, and I negate the P.U.N.K of Ilya Silva. So this was a mistake on two fronts. One, by tributing my Ilya Sylvia, I no longer control an illusion monster, so which means like this, I can't use this before the White Force anymore. So whoopsie, my bad. That was a misplay. Secondly, is why do I care about my opponent summoning Exodia? Okay, the Exodia cannot out this field in any way, shape, or form. It literally does nothing. So yeah, there's no need to negate the P.U.N.K, especially since I get punished and my opponent activates a second P.U.N.K, because they do. But it's fine. I don't really care about the Exodia anyways. They're gonna summon the Exodia, and then Mole Cricket is gonna summon itself with its own effect, and then Divine Temple. I'll use Divine Temple to summon the Poplar. That way, the Poplar can get another search. So Poplar and Mole Cricket. Poplar adds Dramatic Chase. They trying to enter battle phase. I go Mole Cricket, try to get the Sunflower out because I don't need the Nat Beast anymore. But then they go Callby, so we chain the I chained the Naturia Blessing, and then they chained the Ensemble Exodia, and I thought I was slick. Okay, I thought I baited out the negate, and I'm gonna use this White Forest. The symbol was the White Forest. But the problem is I don't have a fucking illusion monster on the field. I didn't realize this, so I just wasted the Naturia Blessing for no reason. But no, whatever. They attack into the Flambirds, and the Flambirds gonna summon back the Ash, to summon back the Jet Synchron Ash. That's Oak for follow up, and then end phase they're gonna set the Exod, and here I'm wondering why the hell I can't Guardian Chimera them, and I'm like, oh, whoops, my bad. So that was a crucial misplay, and my opponent gets to nuke my entire board. And does this matter? Absolutely not. Okay, so anyway, so I lose my entire board. So here comes the follow-up. Okay, Poplar plays Flambirds, chain Dramatic Eye Chase, Snake Eye Dramatic Chase. My opponent should have negated this, but nobody in their right mind is gonna negate a fucking Dramatic Snake Eye Chase, okay? Like, ain't nobody. It also didn't matter because I have the Snake Eye Oak in hand for follow-up anyway, so like I could have done stuff anyways. I still have the Jet Synchron I didn't even use yet, so on and so forth. But yeah, because they didn't negate the Dramatic Eye Chase, now I get two monsters in the spell and trap zones. Now I'm gonna Snake Eye Diabellstar special itself, place the Jet Synchron, then set the Jet Synchron and the Flambird to summon the Doom Dragon. Doom Dragon plays the Exodia, and then the Flambird summoned back two more. So cool. My opponent was they were dead anyways. So no matter what they did, you were summoning Snake Eye Diabellstars, Doom Dragon, plus two more level 1 monsters. I didn't even normal summon yet. I was making a Baron without normal summoning. That's how crazy the follow up is. So yeah, that's one example of how this deck works. Okay, so next we got a couple examples of what happens when you don't open other engines and you just open one engine. For example, here we have Bonfire plus 3 Bestials. When was the last time you drew all 3 Bestials in one hand? And keep in mind, this is a 60 card deck, and these are only 3 Bestials that I run, and I somehow drew all 3 of them. So, sick. Anyways, normal summon Snake Eye Ash. So, you might be wondering what the hell does Snake Eye Ash do? So, Snake Eye Ash get Poplar, special Poplar, and then I'm gonna get original Symbol Foils. I don't get the tempo because I actually want to get Jet Synchron for this line. So we're gonna Ash. Obviously, you could do another line where you just go Poplar, get Dramatic Chase, place Diabellstar, and place special Diabellstar, set Sinful Swoes the White Forest, make a Guardian Chimera on your opponent's turn, and then draw extra cards. So that's another viable option. I want to get a little more greedy because I want to get Jet Synchron, then place Diabellstar, or Poplar's gonna place itself, then Snake Eye Ash, send the Poplar, special Oak, summon back Ash plus Jet Synchron into Formula Synchron, draw a card, I really wanted to draw it into a Deception or something so that I could extend even further, but we draw into Stink Bug, which is fucking trash ass card. I don't know why I'm playing this still. This card is stinky. But yeah, now I'm gonna send the Formula Synchron and the Oak for Flamberge, and then Flamberge is gonna place the Formula Synchron, and we pass. So I know this looks kind of mid compared to what you're used to with Snake Eyes, but without Link monsters, okay, I think going Flamberge for Formula Synchron to summon a Baron on my opponent's turn plus follow up is not bad. Plus draw one card has the potential to draw into your Deception engine, which if you do, then you're really off to the races. You get to your full, you get the like your Ilias, you get an additional Ilias Silver Negate plus the Guardian Chimera plus the Flamberge stuff into the Formula Synchron. So you get all of that if you get a good draw, and if not, your hand is like 4 non-engine because this is a 1-card combo. So we happen to draw 3 Bestials plus an Ash, which if we're playing against Branded, like there ain't no way they're gonna beat this. But yeah, we summoned Formula Synchron. Those probably shouldn't have done that. I played into Infern for no reason. Like I can't use Formula Synchron until the main phase anyway, so you might as well wait until they commit a card. And they're gonna use Lightning Storm, which is like, alright, cool. Anyways, chain Formula Synchron, make a Baron in defense position. Nice Lightning Storm. Then trigger Flamberge. Flamberge is gonna summon back Poplar plus Oak, Poplar and Oak. Oak's summon back Snake Eye Ash, and then Oak at Ash or Poplar at Temple. They're gonna use Emergence, and I'm gonna Ash that, which admittedly this is the one deck where Bestials aren't that great against, but also nice deck. And anyways, nice. Alright, that was an Ash. You don't expect Swordsoul to be the deck that gets FTK'd by Ash, but you know, yeah, sometimes it happens. Okay, so this game we opened just the Diabellstar engine plus Tempo. So we're gonna pitch Diabellstar for the other Diabellstar, and then get Imperm, and then yeah, it's fortunately we don't end on anything in this scenario, so we're going to place Divine Tempo, set Ash, and then go. And our opponent's gonna go Brandon High Spirits, reveal Swordsoul of Taya. I'm like, what in the name of God? who in the fuck? Taya pitch Mirror Jade from extra in order to search Incredible Ecclesia? Well, I guess it works. So they're gonna special Incredible Ecclesia, and I'm gonna special summon the Ash. Right now, I don't have any interruptions yet, but we're gonna special Poplar, and then Poplar gonna add a Original Symbols Blows, and if my opponent does not have any, if my opponent does not kill me, we're good because we have so much follow up. Again, that's the thing about this deck. In this event, if their opponent has a problem doing AK damage to you, you always have the chance to just bring them back on them because all of the Snake Eyes are insane for have insane grind game. And also speaking of, I'm gonna banish the Ecclesia now to special the Baldray, so that if they go into Chi Shell, they have to use Chi Shell to negate the effect. Otherwise, they're gonna lose their Chi Shell. But they go into Boxia instead, and then Boxia, and then target by Tempo, and then they're gonna go Moye. So I actually used Baldrake here. I don't wait for the Chi Shell because in my mind I'm thinking, okay, so they're gonna draw one card of the Moye, which is gonna play right into Droll. So that means they can't add up the Chi Shell anyway. So I don't need to worry about that even. Yeah, go away Diabellstar, tribute the Diabellstar for the Baldrake. The Boxia goes away. They draw a card. My Tempo goes back, and then Diabellstar will special itself, and then Droll and Lockbird. I'll draw my opponent, and they have the cross out. So keep in mind they cross out this Droll. Okay, so I'm thinking, okay, cool. You had it. I'm gonna send the Poplar for the Diabellstar, and then Diabellstar is gonna set Deception, and then Poplar is gonna reset the Poplar. So again, all this fall off for next turn. You gotta wipe this board. So they're gonna normal summon Taya, banish Taya, get a token, and then go into Draco Berserker. See, I don't know why they didn't go to a second Boxia. Like a second Boxia would have been better at this point. Okay, at least a second Boxia. I mean, it wouldn't have done it because my opponent does not have another worm in hand. So keep in mind. They crossed out the Droll this turn. Okay. They did not proceed to add any more cards to their hand afterwards. They changed their mind. They didn't want to go Chi Shell after all. They went into Draco Berserker to out my Ash and my Die Bellstar, which is cool, and then they take my original Synchro Spoils away from my hand. So you really should have just went Boxia, spun on second Boxia, spun both of these back, and then attacked over my Snake Eye Ash. Then I would have had nothing. But instead, I have a guaranteed tribute. So here, you see I draw the Naturia Blessing. If you had just done the play I mentioned, I would have drawn dead because this Deception wouldn't have done anything. But instead, you let this Baldrake on the field. So yeah, Baldrake for Deception for Baldrake, add Hallowed Azamina, summon Murcielago, and they have to negate this Murcielago. If they don't negate this Murcielago, we're gonna add back the Hallowed Azamina and make it Iliosilva, and Iliosilva is gonna negate the Draco Berserker anyways. So you might as well get value out of this and prevent me from getting the Iliosilva on the field in case your hand is something, but it's not. So instead, we get to add Wanted, and then Wanted will add Die Bellstar. We're gonna draw a card off the Wanted first, see if we draw into anything, and thank you, very nice draw. Although honestly, this helps out because we're gonna go Die Bellstar, send the Poplar, and then the Poplar is gonna reset itself again. This is like the third time the Poplar has reset itself this game. Die Bellstar is gonna set the original Symbol Spoils, then original Symbol Spoils on the Poplar to summon the Snake Eye Oak, and then the Oak is gonna special summon Snake Eye Ash, and then Ash is gonna add Jet Synchron because I haven't normal summoned yet. So now we're gonna go activate Deception, Snake Eye Ash, send Deception, and my opponent will leave. So, in case you're wondering what the play was to go Flamberge, push the Berserkers back, normal summon Jet Synchron, go into like a Formula Synchron, draw a card, and then maybe see if I could draw into something. If I don't, it doesn't matter. I don't kill them, but then on my opponent's turn, I'm just gonna Flamberge back their Draco Berserker from my side. So now they're gonna deal with like a Draco Berserker as well as a Jet Synchron that's gonna quit Synchro into a Baron with the Flamberge as well. And the Die Bellstar is gonna continue to provide follow-up. Plus we have the Deception Engraver that's gonna provide more follow-up. So this deck is just like all follow-up, and then like honestly way more follow-up than it even has interruptions. But it does have an okay amount of interruptions too, as you've seen. Well, this is just a very humorous game. Again, this hand is kind of ass, not gonna lie. We're gonna our one play is Dramatic Chase, set Die Bellstar, and then end phase summon Die Bellstar. Which the funny thing is, this plays around Valor, so got you. Actually, it plays on Imprim too, because we hard drew the Symbol Spoils of the White Forest. You don't want to draw like the hard draw the Dramatic Chase plus the card you want to set off the Die Bellstar, right? So instead, we're gonna set the Wanted, just so we can get some more follow-up, and hopefully Guardian Chimera plus 3 hand traps will do it, which generally this is probably fine. Like Guardian Chimera plus 3 hand traps probably will do it, and our opponent's playing P.U.N.K, so they're gonna activate the field spell, then normal summon the P.U.N.K. So before they get a chance to do anything, and we're gonna Symbol Spoils of the White Forest and want to add a Die Bellstar. Keep in mind, Guardian Chimera has to be made with 3 monsters with 3 different names. Just keep that in mind. So I couldn't add the second Die Bellstar and then pitch the Die Bellstar. It doesn't work like that. So we have to add the Snake Eye Die Bellstar, which is a different card. And then using the Droll, the 2 die plus the 2 Die Bellstars, you're going to Guardian Chimera, and then Guardian Chimera Chainlink 1, Die Bellstar Chainlink 2. This chain blocks the Guardian Chimera from Ash. So then Die Bellstar will send the Guardian Chimera, special the Die Bellstar, and then we're gonna draw 2 pop and then set another set a Deception. So we drew 2 more hand traps off of the Guardian Chimera, which is pretty decent. So we got rid of 1 hand trap for the Guardian Chimera and popped the card and then drew another 2. So we went plus on interaction there, and now they're gonna normal summon Xiamen. We're gonna get Ogre on the jam session because we drew that off the Guardian Chimera because we're nice. We're gonna use P.U.N.K Deer Note to summon the Xiamen, which gets Failured, and now they're really desperate. They're gonna activate this card I've never seen in my life. Special as Psychic Tracker, and then special Psychic Welder, attack over the Die Bellstar, and hope I have nothing. Unfortunately, I have Bisteel Magnet. So this is a very funny interaction. So Iris Psychic Riser means monsters with attack less than this card cannot attack, and any effects of monsters with more attack than this card can not use their effects. but this card is this card also gains attack, so it's like, what's gaining this card attack? Oh yeah, it's the Psychic Tracker. The Synchro monster that uses material gains 600 attack. So the fact that Psychic Tracker gave this 600 attack is hurting my opponent, because the reason I could use Magnamut at all was because their Hyper Psychic Riser went from 2k to 2600. So this is super anti-synergy right there. This is the worst. nice loner deck, Konami. Very thought out. So anyway, we're gonna add Druid's Worm, and then go to my turn, and then Druid's Worm, we're gonna banish. Guardian Chimera doesn't really matter, and this is some neat synergy. We're gonna activate Deception, tribute the Druid's Worm, add the Hal Azamina, and then Druid's Worm is gonna pop the Psychic Riser, and then we're free to go to town. So yeah, I'm probably gonna hold off a little bit until we get the additional missions before I finish this event off, and I'm probably gonna end up playing a bit more than just getting 11k medals. And honestly, I don't mind at all, because I as I told you, I really enjoy playing this deck, and I enjoy imagining the faces of confusion my opponents have when they play against this. But if you haven't found a deck that you wanted to play for this event yet, go check out the other 2 videos I made on this event, showcasing you some of the best decks for this event, and even some budget options for this event. Just so if you're not as lucky as me to find a deck that you really enjoy playing for this event, I have other ideas for you too. So yeah, go check those out.